we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, all of those YouTube things. I appreciate every single one of you. So today we are continuing in on the conversations and talking about beauty and all of those things. And today I wanted to focus on um, plastic people who get plastic surgery. Now, I'm not going to get into that and tell people they shouldn't have plastic surgery, but I think there's something to be said about learning self acceptance, and loving yourself for how you are. And that needs to be pushed more on social media and in magazines. Self love, um, self respect, self awareness. Now, I know about people who are pressured, especially those who are entertainers, to have perfect symmetry of their face, their nose, their whatever, and to just nip and tuck. I'm sure that that must be a big pressure for so many of them. But I wanted to speak on this about how important that I believe that self awareness of saying, you know, just even with me, my eyes are very large in comparison with my nose and my lips and everything. But it took me a while, but I did get there as a woman, in learning how to love myself for my features, and knowing that it's not going to be perfect. And if we compare, uh, ourselves to people who are in society, of course, we're not going to look like the stars, those very glamorous, very rich people. But also at the same time, you have to learn to look at yourself and feel beautiful for or handsome for who you are. Hey, PMC, how are you doing? Welcome. And I just wish more women and more men would accept themselves instead of going under the knife. Now, I know I can't tell anybody what to do, but I am more for the belief of, how you look is how you look. Now, I'm not saying those extra things like when people have the weight loss surgeries and they have loose skin and things. I do believe, yes, do that for that appearance. But I'm talking about those who don't have those issues and they choose to change the way their face looks, the way their body looks, everything. And have you ever seen some people, they do so much plastic surgery that their face looks plastic after a while? They've stretched it so much. And I really feel sorry for those people because they've never had people in their life to tell them that they're beautiful for how they are. If you are looking to other people in a society, like entertainers or other people, to tell you how beauty is defined, only you can define your own beauty. You can only see the 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 wonderfulness in yourself. And it took me a while. I'm not going to lie to you guys, because for the most part, most people who look like me don't see that spread all over the TV screen and in magazines and things. It's just not that way. So you have to look inwardly. That has to be an inward thing. And every woman and every man has to come to that space to love themselves. And I get it. Some people don't, because they're surrounded by toxic people that will bully them and make them feel less than, because for whatever reason they don't like them. But those are the people that you need to stay away from. PMC says the obsession with plastic surgery is dangerous. And to hear some that have undergone the experience say later on they regret it and they break down crying, it's sad to see because there's no turning back. Exactly. So, I honestly, I wanted to talk to somebody who, before they do it, and I never have told anybody this, but when I was a teenager, I wanted to have plastic surgery on my nose. because everybody in my area always had a very small, thin nose. And for me, I felt like my nose was so wide and so big that I wanted to change it. And I thought about having that plastic surgery, but I said, you know what? Maybe one day I'll grow into it. I'll grow into my looks, and I'll learn to love myself one day. And I'm glad that I waited, because as I got older, I said, yeah, I don't see a lot of people that look like me, but that's the beauty. You shouldn't want to see everybody walking around looking the same like you, dressing the same like you. There has to be some individuality, and that comes from inside of you, and that takes a lot of inner work. You have to work very hard on yourself to get to the space to say, this is me, and I love myself for who I am right now on today. And I hope that there are some ladies watching this, some gentlemen watching this, that maybe feel, okay, I want to change this and I want to change that, and this doesn't look good. Because when you get plastic surgery, that's what you're saying. I don't look good. And nobody has the right to say that about you. You need to do some work on healing that inside. What makes you feel like you are not beautiful? And beautiful is not to compare yourself to somebody. I'm talking about inner beauty. What you have inside, your qualities, your personality. It's not just about the outside, what you see in the mirror. True beauty stems from who you are inside. How do you treat yourself? What kind of person are you? How do you treat other people? And more people need to reflect on that before they go under the knife, you know. Of course, like I always say, I can't tell you guys what to do, but I'm always going to encourage you to do some inner work and some healing, because many times people have told us that we're ugly, or we're this or that, or this isn't right, you know, whatever. But every woman and every man on their own has to come to this space to say, you know what? I love myself. You know what? I am beautiful, or I am handsome, and I accept myself. We may not be beautiful to everybody, but you need to be beautiful to yourself. You need to accept yourself and receive yourself. PMC says we are all made in God's image, and plastic surgery does not perfect anything. It leaves those who endure it scarred for life. There's no beauty like natural beauty since birth. Exactly. I feel the same way, PMC. I feel the same way. And it takes every woman and every man some time, because of bullying and people saying mean things, and you will look down on yourself. But each of us has to look at ourselves in the mirror and do some work, and look at yourself and say, yeah, I am beautiful. I am enough. I am worthy, because it is also linked to self-esteem. So uh, that's really the topic for today. I'm not going to keep you guys long. You know, I do live streams 30 minutes or less, Mondays to Fridays. And today we were talking about the beauty of plastic surgery. And I just want you guys to really think, meditate, get into a spiritual space, and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for who you're in a relationship with? You know, a job? Are you doing this to get some roles, to get money, and to get elevated in this world? Or are you doing it for yourself? That's the questions that we need to ask ourselves. Yes, PMC, great chat. Stay safe, yes, and take care. Thank you so much. Good evening to everybody. You have tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, feel free, subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, and if you're watching in the replay, please, please, please take a moment and leave me a comment in the comment section below. So check out also my playlist of other videos, because yes, today is the third day in this series, and tomorrow and Friday we will do a second and a fourth and a fifth part. So stay tuned for that, and I will tap in on tomorrow. Bye, guys.